I mean to say it infects us in our most basic integrity. It says we can't be moral without Big Brother, without a totalitarian permission. You're a child made in the image of God. Oh no, you're not. You're a faggot. And you can't join your church and you can't go to heaven. This is disgraceful. It's inhuman.
This is a clip from Radical London Muslim Imam gets owned by Hannity. I hate both of the people in this video, by the way. Anyway.
And you want your religion or no religion. Yeah. Let me ask you some questions about Sharia. Let me ask you about questions about Sharia, which you want to implement. Do you think women, what do you think about women that don't want to cover themselves? Should they be allowed? What would the punishment be if you don't want to cover women under Sharia in Great Britain if you had your way?
Well, I'll tell you something. We don't exploit them for pornography in the fashion and, well, let me answer the question. We don't exploit them through pornography, the fashion and cosmetics industry. Women are not slabs of meat in Islam.
It's funny, I've lived 53 years on this earth and I've never had a man call me a slab of meat or treat me like I was. And I've never been compelled to run around naked or forced to run around naked, which means the same thing as compelled. I've never felt pressured into running around naked or scantily clad. There's no rule that says that I have to run around scantily clad. As long as I've lived on this earth, I've been able to pretty much wear whatever I want to, unless, of course, it's a uniform for my job. But at every other time, I can pretty much wear what I want to. The women who are scantily clad are that way because they want to. Women like myself who don't run around that way, it's because I don't want to. We have a choice. It's funny, the only one here that is comparing a woman to a piece of meat is this guy.
Our mothers, our sisters,
and if a woman doesn't want to wear a burqa or a covering, what would the punishment be?
Wait a second, let me answer the question.
No,
you're not interested in the truth. You're interested in your own voice.
Well, I'm asking, what should the punishment be? Are you that dumb and ignorant? Answer it.
Both
what would the punishment
Muslim and non-Muslim women will cover themselves. They don't walk around naked like your own...
Excuse me, but you have no right to dictate what non-Muslim women choose to wear from day to day. It's bad enough that you think you can dictate what Muslim women wear, or that you think your cult has some kind of power over their lives. You know, if there's power, if somebody chooses to let a cult have power over their lives, that should be their choice. You don't have the right to fucking dictate to them how much this cult has power over their lives. If they choose to follow a religion, how much they follow it, or how strictly they follow it, or how much to the letter they follow it, should be their choice. Maybe some Muslim women want to wear the burqa and follow it strictly, the dress code. But maybe some Muslim women do not, and that should be their right.
So, and if they don't cover themselves, what would the punishment be?
They are honored in Islam. They are honored in Islam.
Okay, now let me ask.
Muslim women are honored in Islam. Yeah, that's right. That's why they're worth half as much in a courtroom. Their testimony is only worth half as much. That's why they can only inherit half as much. That's why in some places they can't leave the house without a male escort. That's why in some places they can't own a cell phone. That's why in some places they can't drive a car or ride a bicycle or walk around without their face covered. Muslim women are honored. That's why in some places they don't get to go to school. That's why in some places little girls who do want to go to school get shot in the face for wanting to go to school. Yeah, Muslim women are honored in Islam. That's why it's okay for men to beat their wives as if their wives are nothing but disobedient children. Right, that's why husbands can divorce their wife on a whim without even having to go to court, right. That's why if a man beats his wife black and blue so she's disfigured and she tries to go to the Islamic court and try to claim that her husband abused her, most likely the judge won't even listen to her. Right. That's why little girls are deprived of their childhood and forced to marry somebody twice or 3 times their age, and they don't even get to experience what it's like to fall in love and date and be romanced by somebody they really are attracted to. Right. Muslim women are honored in Islam. Right.
Let me ask you this. If a woman is raped, under Sharia, there is, in some countries, there is a need for 4 male eyewitnesses for that rape. Do you agree with that?
No, this is nonsense. This is nonsense. They don't implement the Sharia in Saudi Arabia or in Iran.
Okay.
He just said they don't implement Sharia law in Saudi Arabia or Iran. That is bullshit. I'm sorry. I have seen too many videos of Sharia law being implemented in these places.
Commit adultery. Should women be stoned to death if they commit adultery?
Both men and women, if they are witnesses,
they should be.
If they are self-confession, of course they will be punished.
No, not punished. Stoned to death. That's what he asked you. Should they be stoned to death for fucking sleeping with somebody? You actually think that somebody should die for sleeping with somebody? Seriously? Oh, I'm sorry, but this is the mentality that thinks somebody should die for saying something bad about Muhammad. Or Mohammed, however the fuck you pronounce it. You think someone deserves to die or be imprisoned for years and years and years for saying something. So naturally somebody who sleeps with somebody should die. I'm sorry. This is somehow, this makes sense to you?
Should gay people be stoned to death?
Well, you know, the homosexuality and bestiality and pedophilia and these things, I think they are your own way of life.
You know, homosexuality and bestiality are 2 different things. Interesting that you would put them both in the same sentence. Homosexuality is natural for humans and for a large portion of other animals in the animal kingdom. Bestiality, on the other hand, I don't think there is another species on the planet that has intercourse with some other species. I agree, that is not natural. Humans doing that, in my opinion, are perverted. It's animal cruelty. It's the same thing as torturing an animal. It's a crime to have sex with an animal, in my opinion. It is not a crime for a human being to have sex with another consenting adult human being. And it isn't unnatural, because in the natural kingdom, you see it all over the place. Other species do it. Humans do it because they're one of the species of animal on the planet that has homosexuality tendencies. Individuals are born with homosexual tendencies. So comparing or putting homosexuality and bestiality in the same sentence is absurd. And then he says that pedophilia is our way of life, and he's coming from a culture, a cult that endorses and condones child marriage and child marriage is child abuse and child rape. And polygamy too. Let's have more than one little girl for a wife. And he can actually criticize America. Last time I checked, it was illegal to have sex with a child. I think under 18, isn't it?
Last question. The Quran, which you love so much, the Quran says that you should take neither Christians nor Jews for your friends. It talks about infidels, and it talks about jihad and holy war. What does that mean to you? I'm a Christian. Are you, as a Muslim, not allowed to be friends with me?
Now I have a problem with Hannity criticizing the Quran when he's a Christian and he follows the Bible. It's like, this is the pot calling the kettle black, big time.
I believe in 28
Should they
states.
be stoned to death? I'm asking.
Bestiality is legal in America. You can have a relationship with just about whoever you want. In Islam, Allah created Adam and Eve, not Adam and Steve. So
should gay people be stoned to death?
Between man and woman.
Should gay people be stoned to death?
Under the Islamic State, people will not be doing this relationship in the public arena. If they do, then there will be punishment, of course.
They'll be punished for it, of course. For having a relationship with somebody of your same gender, you deserve to be punished for that? Since when is that a crime? Who exactly are you hurting by having a romantic relationship with somebody else? You're talking about people who do this in public. Funny thing, I've been on the earth for, again, 53 years as of next month, and I have yet to see a homosexual couple doing it in public. So I don't think that they do it in public generally, have sex. If you mean homosexual shouldn't express affection like holding hands or putting their arms around each other or kissing, there's this thing that you can do if you don't like that. It's called looking the other way. Just because you don't agree with something doesn't make it a crime, and it doesn't give you the right to capture somebody and kill them. You people are disgusting that you think that this is even a crime. No, it's not a crime. And just because your fucking little book says it is, that doesn't make it so. Your book is based on stuff that is probably not even real. It's probably fiction. And certainly the whole thing about a God, you haven't proven a God exists. So you're killing people for committing crimes against a God who very likely doesn't exist. You're just looking for reasons to kill people. You don't like it? They must die. Oops, they said something bad about Muhammad. They must die. Oops. That woman looked at that man like, in a seductive manner. It's kind of like committing adultery. I bet you in some countries, if a woman even just looks at a man wrong, she could be in trouble. Anyway, no, you don't kill somebody for falling in love with another human being. You don't kill somebody for daring to be who they are and being honest about who they are and who they love and who they are attracted to. You don't kill somebody for that. And he just blithely says, oh yes, they will be punished. Punished for what? It's not a crime. Oh, I'm sorry, I guess in your twisted version of reality, it is a crime. And that's sick. And this person wants this fucking version of their idea of law all over the world. Isn't that special? Yeah, we could have this all over the world where gay people are just killed for being who they are. Wow.
Let me tell you something.
And what do you think about Jewish people?
Christians and Muslims? Okay, let's have another interruption, shall we? Or do you want to answer the question? This is the heart of ignorance. You're not interested in the answer.
I don't care what
you do. You're in your own voice.
You don't impress me.
Maybe you will learn something if you listen. Maybe you will learn something.
Maybe you don't answer questions, so I gotta make it simple so that they can get through your thick head.
Shut up for a minute and listen. I'm asking a very simple question. Shut up for a minute and listen. Answer the question. I'm going to answer you. Finally. Let me tell you something. In the heart of you.
What a crazy duo. Anyway, I just wanted to make some comments on this video. I don't know why he thinks that Saudi Arabia and Iran are not under Sharia law. Whatever they're under, if it isn't Sharia, it's even worse than Sharia. And, oh, actually, I do want to play the end of this because at the end, Choudary kind of just starts going into his bit about we need to cover the earth with Sharia law, which is my opinion.
Hamas, Hezbollah, ISIS, ISIL, you support Al-Qaeda. Yeah. You once said about 9/11, you were very clear that you are on Team Bin Laden, not Team Obama. So you supported what happened on 9/11, and you said it was a good thing. So I know where you're coming from. I just want America to have an opportunity to see you for who you are. You are the enemy of free people. You are the enemy of free people. You support evil and death and demise of innocent people. And you support murder and terror. So that makes you an enemy of freedom.
We can talk over each other. We can talk over each other.
And I don't want your Sharia law, and neither does anybody in Great Britain that has a brain.
You will have no choice, in fact, Sean. It's coming to a place near you. It's coming to a place near you.
So you're threatening to come and get me, is that what you're saying?
I'm saying that the Sharia will be implemented in the whole world.
Sharia is, so that's what you want. You want that. Thank you. You answered my question. You want a worldwide Islamic caliphate.
Of course we do.
You want a worldwide Islamic caliphate.
Alhamdulillah.
And you want Islam to rule the world.
This has been promised by the Messenger Muhammad.
And infidels should be destroyed and done with. Infidels, goodbye.
You will be liberated from the shackles of man-made law. Let me tell you something.
I don't need to be liberated by Islam. I'm a Christian. I don't want your religion. I don't want Sharia.
Your society is
I believe in women's rights.
With drugs,
I believe in freedom.
With prostitution, with gambling, with usury.
We don't need this. Listen, your version of morality is cutting people's heads off you don't agree with. I'll take the imperfections of freedom as they are, but I don't chop little kids' heads off. I don't chop a photojournalist's heads off and say that that's a good thing and that's a way to pay back people that you disagree with.
Have the Jews who occupy
You support murder. You support terror. You supported bin Laden.
Which is self-defense.
You support evil, and I don't.
In your world, killing children in Gaza is self-defense, isn't it?
Just one more observation. Earlier in the video, Choudary mentioned that when Hannity said that a woman needs to have 4 witnesses, male witnesses to a rape, and Chowdary's response was, well, in Saudi Arabia and Iran, they're not under Sharia law. That was his defense of that question. And now here at the end, he's saying, well, one day Sharia law will be worldwide. So, in other words, that's what he wants. He wants worldwide for a woman to require 4 people to witness her rape. He wants worldwide for women to have to dress completely covered head to foot. Because apparently Muslim men look at women like they're slabs of meat, if they're not. Anyway, that's all. I just wanted to make some comments about this rather zany interview. I will leave the link to it below if you want to see the whole thing. If you've been watching, thanks. Bye.